Hello everybody, SlimKirby here. Welcome back to more of the Mario Kart Wii extra videos. Today, we're actually going to be spending some time in time trials, and this is actually going to be a pretty relaxing video because there's not going to be a whole lot of gameplay here. Because as I kind of hinted at earlier on in the project, I used to do time trials a lot, but I feel like these days, like the time trials themselves, I probably wouldn't be as good at it anymore, so I thought as an alternative for this video, maybe we'll kind of go back and watch some of my old time trials and basically see how they go, how I performed, and maybe at the end I'll actually try racing some of my ghosts, but I definitely cannot promise any success because, like I said before, it's been ages since I've played this game as much as I used to. So let's go ahead and jump in the time trials. You choose your character. I'll just go ahead and pick my go-to combo here just because, you know, that's what you do. That's what you do when you play time trials. You want to be with the combo that's probably the most effective. So I've talked about this numerous times. My biggest track when I did time trials was DK Summit. And as you can see, I have a time of 2 minutes and 2 seconds. And I seriously tried to optimize this, like, incredibly. So, let's actually see what this is like. Let's go ahead and watch the replay. So as I've mentioned before, Funky Kong and the Flame Runner is a combo you'll probably see a lot in time trials. Just because it's speed. It's pure speed. It's probably the fastest combo in the game, and the combo that probably benefits like all the courses the most. There are some other combinations you'll see. I know that Daisy with the Mach Bike is also pretty popular. Funky Kong with the Spear is also a pretty popular combination. Because even though the Flame Runner is probably the best bike to use, in some cases the Spear is actually faster because it has a better top speed, and on some of the tracks that don't have turns as much, you can use that extra speed with you know, very little turning very effectively, and that's just the way it is, I feel like. So those are definitely like a lot of different strats for time trial, at least starting out, is definitely finding the right combo for all the tracks and one that'll benefit you. The second thing is actually figuring out when you want to use your mushrooms, and as you can see, I usually use my mushroom across that snow field right there. And I also have this little trick right here where I kind of skip through all of this and just kind of get through that pit section without having to do really any turning whatsoever. And then you also have to make good use of these half pipes as well. So yeah, I was like really proud of this time back in the day. I definitely tried to optimize this as much as possible. There were so many times where it's like I started the race, messed up, had to restart. That's pretty much the life of a time trial person in general, is you'll have a lot of like start and restarts. And yeah, it's just like trying to find like little optimizations here and there to actually improve your performance on all the different tracks. And then there's also a huge degree of trying to find major and big time shortcuts, and I'll definitely try to show a few of those off. In fact, I'll go ahead and try to show off the most extreme of those shortcuts, which I actually did manage to pull off. Actually did manage to pull off in my time trial. So yeah, that was okay. I don't need to watch this again. Hold on, guys. Let's click the replay. Return to the courses screen. I'm going to go ahead and show off what is probably my shortest time in the entire game. We're going to go to Grumble Volcano, where I have a time of 54 seconds. You're probably wondering, how the hell do you get 54 seconds in Grumble Volcano? Well, let's find out. Let's find out right now. Oh wait, I didn't want to race the ghost. Hold on. No, I didn't want to race it. I just wanted to watch. Just for fun, though. Hold on. Yeah, you can see that, like, right away. Like, what the hell was that ghost even doing? Well, it'll make sense in just a second. Let me actually just pick the right settings here so I can actually do this properly. So, where's my ghost? Watch the replay. So this is the stuff you basically have to do if you want to like if you want to get the top time on some of these tracks. It's quite ridiculous. Here I am driving around this little rock spire. I believe once I do that, I activate lap 2. Kind of get stuck right there. I didn't intend to get stuck right there, but you do this again. I think doing that activates lap 3. Oh, wait, no, that activated lap 2. I must have not did it correctly during that first cycle. And then, like right here, there's the final lap. And as you can see, I think the volcano is like getting ready to submerge right here. And then at that point, all I have to do is just, there we go. That's it. That's how you beat Grumble Volcano in less than a minute. Obviously, you can do that better because I didn't do it properly on my first cycle, but those are definitely some of the big shortcuts you have to use if you want to get a super great time trial. And I guess I'll also talk about this too, but as you can see, there's some other ghosts that are actually saved on here. This is actually a Nintendo of America staff ghost, where they actually programmed something where if you did very well on a track, you would unlock a staff ghost and then later an expert staff ghost. And I think if you beat, I think you had to beat, maybe you just had to beat the original, but like if you beat certain staff ghosts and unlock certain expert staff ghosts, you'd actually unlock characters and bikes and stuff of that nature. So that was a way you could unlock some extra content in this game. So that's what this Nin Star A24 is, and that's why you have a little Nintendo icon below. So that was another aspect of this game in addition to the Grand Prix modes, was you actually had to beat staff ghosts as well if you wanted to unlock everything. So let's see here. Where's my... Oh, I guess this is my ghost. Apparently I was racing under the name Home Slice, but no, I don't want to race. I just want to watch the replay. But I want to say this uses the Bowser's Castle 3 shortcut that I kind of I tried to highlight during my playthrough, but I don't know if I actually pulled it off properly or not. Let's actually see if I did. I think I did. I'm pretty sure I did. I don't know if it was like on the first lap or the second lap, though. I feel like it was something where when I actually did it, I was surprised I did it, and I'm like, oh wow, I just kind of pulled that off now, didn't I? I guess we'll see here. Oh, yep. Okay, I'm going for it, and I actually make it. So yeah, that's the Bowser's Castle 3 shortcut. Very, very big shortcut. It actually does, it does actually skip a lot in the grand scheme of things. So yeah, there's definitely a lot of that in this game, unfortunately. You know, it does kind of suck that there are these tricks that people just kind of try to figure out, and once they do, they can just like completely wreck these time trials. And these days, Nintendo's actually trying to patch out those kind of things. I believe in Mario Kart 7 there was the whole Maka Woohoo course where essentially you could beat the track like very, very quickly. So they actually patched out that shortcut. And in this game, they didn't actually worry about patching stuff, so they didn't even bother with it. But that's something they'd probably do these days. But yeah, like, it can be kind of discouraging when, like, you think you have, like, a really, really good time on a track, but then all of a sudden, like, someone just finds, like, a little glitch or a little exploit they can use, and the course is completely broken. Then everybody does that shortcut, and then, like, you basically have to learn that shortcut in order to actually compete with everyone else. That was, like, I think that was kind of the thing that kind of distracted me, or not really distracted me, but discouraged me from doing time trials after a while, because it's like, well, all the tracks are going to be broken at some point. We're going to have to do all these weird exploits. It won't come down to racing properly on all the tracks. And that just kind of like didn't really sit well with me. That's kind of when I kind of stopped playing. I think that was like it was around the time the Mushroom Gorge shortcut was found, which I don't know if I actually got that trick or not. I'll check really quick after this. But it was around the discovery of that glitch and exploitation. That's when I was like, okay, maybe I'm not really into time trials anymore, and that's kind of when I stopped. So yeah, there we go. That was Home Slice's run. I want to say Home Slice was a me that one of my friends made as a joke, and I just kind of like, for fun, jumped online with that name at some point, and then just kind of rolled with it, and then did some time trials of it or something like that. That's what I imagine, anyway. So let me see. What's my Mushroom Gorge time? That seems very, very high, so I don't think I actually got the shortcut on this one. I think I may have tried it, and I did actually get it at some point, but I didn't really feel like keeping the time or something like that. So yeah, I don't think I got it. Yeah, that just seems like too long for a time. So yeah, I think I mentioned this in the last video, but Ghost Valley 2 is another track that I oh, well, okay, I guess I just used Costanza on this one. So let's see how Costanza did on Ghost Valley 2. So this course I always like because it's very short, and because it's very short, there's not a lot of tricks and optimization you have to do. And the biggest thing you have is this little shortcut right here. Yeah, and that's basically the trick for this level. That and just kind of doing your boost correctly and stuff of that nature. I feel like this is a course that would be better with like maybe the spear or something. Because yeah, you do have some very tight turns, but there's a lot of straightaways too. So I think maybe with the spear you could probably get a little extra speed in some places. I think anyway, I think. It's really hard to say because again, like I just haven't really been a part of this game or followed the time trial scene at all since I stopped, so I have no real idea. But yeah, this is pretty much what I did for a large majority of the time when Mario Kart Wii was relevant. I just did a lot of time trial stuff, me and my friend Sitarman345, as you probably know him from very, very old videos on my channel. So yeah, I don't think there's anything else I really want to show. I feel like Rainbow Road has a pretty interesting trick that I show off, but you know what? Let's go ahead and show it off. Maybe I'll just show like one lap of it. Oh, Tom Hanks. I guess Tom Hanks is just the best ghost that I have here. Actually, no, it's not what I think it is. I think there was a trick I was learning, but I never actually finished a run with it. That's probably why. Because from what I remember, I actually used the spear for that trick, and not the flame runner, so I don't think this is that track. So yeah, I'm not gonna worry about it then. So, you know, I've been watching enough. Let's actually do some time trials here. Let's actually try to compete with my ghosts here. We have me with the flame runner, 205, 505. Again, I don't imagine I'm going to do very well here because it's been ages. I don't know all the tricks. I don't know all the exploits. I don't know all the shortcuts. But, you know, just to see how well I'll do after a long period of time of not doing this. I'm surprised I'm actually using my meat here. Okay, so you obviously want to get on the conveyor belt right there. And then you want to use a lot of wheelies. Wheelies make the world go round. Yeah, I find that really strange that I actually used my Mii for this. I imagine you want to use the mushroom, like maybe... Oh, actually, you know what? I remember there is a shortcut on Toad's Factory. You kind of skip over like a water section. But I guess I didn't do that with my current time trial. And then yeah, there's obviously that. So I'm definitely not going to beat my time trial here, but I'm not going to restart either. This is just for fun, obviously. And because it's just for fun, I don't feel like doing a restart or anything like that. Damn it. Yeah, I'm like 5 seconds behind my best time at the moment. I remember Toad's Factory being a pretty hard track to optimize because you really need to get on that conveyor belt. And if those things come down when you're actually going through that section, you'll lose a lot of time either getting hit by the crusher or just trying to avoid the crusher. So I think that's why I don't have like a really good time here. And just for fun, I might actually try out my DK Summit route again, even though, like, obviously you guys saw what I did, and I'm not going to be able to beat that at all, because that was the one I optimized the most, but just to see how I'll do. So 211 after not doing this for a while, and after no restarts, I don't think that's too bad. And hell, that was like my 4th best time I had on here, so that really isn't too bad at all. Let's go ahead and move on to, I guess I'll go back to DK Summit. That's not where DK Summit is. That's a different ice course. I don't want to race that. I want to race Big Man Me. Big Man Me. I can't guarantee success right here, but I'll do what I can. And yeah, there was also like some kind of start-off trick with wheelies that you can do to get like a little extra speed at the beginning, which is why my Ghost is so far ahead right now. But I obviously don't remember that track so much because it's been, again, forever. Oh yeah, and I'm gonna miss this shortcut right here. Yeah, this is awful. This is pretty bad, not gonna lie. I almost feel like restarting, but I'm not going to. Like, I've already passed the finish line. My Ghost has already passed the finish line of the first lap. And yeah, as you can see, you get 3 mushrooms whenever you start a time trial. And the basic goal is try to figure out where you want to use those mushrooms. So definitely look for good places for you to use it. Usually if you can cut off a part of a track, it's always very nice to use it there. Oh wow, I'm actually surprised I did that. So yeah, that's basically how you do that trick right there. It's just, if you turn at the right time, you can just go over that entire big pit. So I did that pretty well. That was actually a pretty good lap, but I just have my Ghost just has too much ground from the first lap, but I can't really make it up here. Man, my Ghost is actually going to be like finished in like 10 seconds. That's incredible. Whoa, I fell off. And my Ghost just finished. But yeah, that's pretty much time trials. I mean, there's definitely more to talk about, and like, you know, there's definitely a scene dedicated to it. I mean, there's a freaking speedrun community for like every single game in existence. I imagine there's definitely a community that continues to try and like beat each other with all these different time trials and stuff. I'm sure it's definitely a thing for sure. And I'm sure there's leaderboards for every Mario Kart game. I'm sure that in some way the records are continuing to be beaten and like tricks are continuing to be found over and over again. So if you are ever interested in that, I'm sure just like a Google search will point you in the right direction. Unfortunately, I don't know about that stuff anymore. I'm definitely retired as far as this game is concerned. But it was something I followed for a while, and I kind of felt like sharing like some of those stories with you guys and showing you some of my records from the past. So, very, very interesting video, I think. I think it'll be kind of a good investigation and look back of the time I spent playing this game. But there's still one more mode I want to cover before we wrap this playthrough up. It is the battle mode. Shouldn't take too long, probably about 2 videos or so, where I cover all the courses and cover basically to a pretty good extent the 2 different modes of battle mode, and then I'll try to touch on some of the other online options that exist in this game. But it will largely depend on how I can if I can even access these features, and if I can't, I'll probably just kind of talk about them a little bit, and that's really all I have to say. So. This has been SlimKirby. Thanks for watching. I will see you guys next time. Later, folks.